Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss you, we eat the your little rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste the most romantic statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, girl, and say that is not you. One day the man above end up, him a got a bet. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of it.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rap and they down in our river. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep, and some informer friend we love like. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
Thank God January done. What a month long, cold, stressful and distressful. Thank God January done. We can't get on with life now. The bed war in Jamaica continues. The bed crisis in our National Health Service continues across the country while the Prime Minister moves ahead to make his well-known meet your judge or make a threat to U.S. criminal deportees who might not walk his straight line? What though if the people of Jamaica were to issue threats to our criminal politicians? Good morning and welcome. It is the 1st of February. You might be asking yourself, what on earth is he doing out here this morning? Did he not say he was going to take a weekend break? The Prime Minister has tickled my fancy. The Prime Minister, as you know, the Prime Minister always speak a lot of crazy bullshit, you can call it. The Prime Minister comes out and tickles my fancy. So I have to come out here, come warn the people of Jamaica and ask them, are you serious about protecting your country? What if Andrew Holness should declare a martial law? How will Jamaica people treat that? We will look at that in a bit. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, dear subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning to those who are celebrating your Sabbath today. Happy Sabbath to you all. Good morning and welcome to Global Television. I don't remember if some one of them people that says some of the people are self-deporting themselves. One of the Jamaica officials says so. I don't remember which one I see. I never even screenshot it. But one of them said some of the people are self-deporting themselves. Morning, everybody. Ho no. There isn't anything such as self-deportation in immigration law. What it is called, rather, it is called voluntary return or voluntary return, where you choose to leave the country rather than be deported, which puts a time limit marker as to when you could reapply to go into the country, where under voluntary return after a visa violation or illegal entry, it's quite a lighter blow compared to a deportation or a removal. So, any Jamaica politician confused of that, me just clear it up for you. There's nothing such as voluntary. There's nothing such as self-deportation. It is called voluntary return. All right? If our prime minister rather, and or MPs, such as Floyd Green, who does it regular like the Prime Minister, if we are really doing a work, I don't think, if you're comfortable in your spirit that you're doing what the people of Jamaica has elected you to do, I don't think one would have to compare camera every minute. I try to show the world and I try to convince us. So now I do something. We not do it regularly. And it's a sign of failure. Because if you have not failed, Prime Minister, if you have not failed, Minister Green, you do not need to convince us of anything. Tangibility is something that you can see and you can touch. It is there. It's not a soft material like we just make up something online to blur the vision of people. Then nothing substantial behind that. So if we not really do anything, like some of these things that the Prime Minister and Flight Green run go picture themselves do. These are the things that local government should be doing. Or them have offices around the country. The fact that you all have to come on camera, come try convince me. Say, look, I've been doing this. Look, I've been doing that. It means you're doing nothing. It means that time has caught up with you. And all you can do is try to convince and fool the people that you have done something. The Prime Minister's new vote buying housing project, coming now call it how him call it. Him can't call it so. Fair enough. I feel. But may I call it the Prime Minister new vote buying housing project. But I'm going to listen to Prime Minister Bullsod, because all this man talk is a load of it. Too much of it. But on the issue of martial law, before we go into these lot, no, let me say shortly first before the martial law. We saw what happened in the annual general meetings of local government. Are you surprised? I'm not. I mean, if we employ pigs, if we elect pigs, why are you surprised if all of them start making noise in the pen, rubbing on the board, wallowing in the leftover feed and shit mud and all that? Why are you surprised? Is it not the normal behavior? Is it not the normal behavior of our politicians? Wherever they may be. Could it be the highest seat in the land, any gathering, whether be it in a building, on the street? They're all pigs. Both sides of them. Both sides of them. So I'm not surprised. And I wouldn't give them much of my time anyway. Now, late last year, Christine Gilbert, how are you doing? Late last year, we saw the president of South Korea declared martial law, not because there was something wrong in the country, because he was facing opposition, stiff opposition, and he wanted to cement his grip and power. What he did, he declared martial law. Once that is done, the army moves in to take over entities of the state. That martial law, though, only survived for around 6 or so hours. How did they avert that? The gracious people of South Korea immediately sprang into action, and they make a move with vehicles and everything to block the military from making their move to take over state building. Politicians of South Korea, both sides of the coin, head straight to parliament, battled with the army to get in parliament, which the army was already in pursuit of taking over. And with the help of the general public, the MPs battled with the army, got into parliament, voted, and strike down the martial law. Ever since, there was a debacle between them and the president, where the president is being investigated for all that. He, in the last few weeks, was finally arrested after a standoff between him, police, and everybody. He was finally arrested. My question is to the Jamaica people. Andrew is hell-bent on a third term and power. Politically, integrity-wise, economically, the Prime Minister is a failure. It is loud for even the Prime Minister, deaf as he is, to hear. If Andrew declare a martial law to avoid an election defeat, will the people of Jamaica spring into action like the people of South Korea? Will the Jamaica Labour Party politician break ranks in their 48 of it with the Prime Minister and strike down the Prime Minister arbitrary control of the country? We must keep our minds ready and prepare for anything that could happen. This Prime Minister regularly threatens us with murder. This Prime Minister regularly tries to pump fear into us. You may want to ask yourself, why? What could it be? What might be his intention when him always I tell we say, meet on a judge or meet on a maker? Roll on there. Judge or maker. Let's listen to the Prime Minister was signing over one of his new vote buying housing project. And he was responding to what I think would be question asked of him in relation to the US mass deportation. Let us listen to the Prime Minister first.
In profoundly changing times, there are many Jamaicans who will be concerned about the change in immigration policies in the United States. There are many Jamaicans, of course, who live in the United States. I would want to reassure Jamaicans that your government has long been planning and putting in place measures to address any changes in policies in the United States. Firstly, let me say that Jamaica is the homeland. So Jamaicans all over the world will always be welcome back.
I wonder if the Prime Minister, though, not cut on in there, I wonder if the Prime Minister would be able to tell us from how long he's been making those plans. And if the Prime Minister could explain to the public what those plans are and how returnees would benefit from any such program of resettlement and re-engagement, Prime Minister. Because on love for frat, but you can't give the breakdown of what it is and how it will work. You just a broad fluff and just leave it so. I wonder if you could explain to us what it really means.
In profoundly changing times, there are many Jamaicans who will be concerned about the change in immigration policies in the United States. There are many Jamaicans, of course, who live in the United States. I would want to reassure Jamaicans that your government has long been planning and putting in place measures to address any changes in policies in the United States. Firstly, let me say that
I don't want to interrupt the people. How long, sir? Since Trump started his campaign and said it, how long? You need to stop these broad brushing statements. And if you're making a statement, you break it down. If you're putting plans in place, what are those measures? What are those measures? And how will they benefit the returnees? How are these measures targeted? What department is it? Horace Chang department will be responsible for these measures as the immigration minister, or is it that it will be Pernell Charles ministry will deal with social security, as we see in take up all 1.5 million give one person in a one day? We need you to break it down for us. Please break it down. I mean, I got trouble now again.
In profoundly changing times, there are many Jamaicans who would be concerned about the change in immigration policies in the United States.
Let me pause and answer Abena's question. Now, for the American system, Abena, I cannot speak clearly of. But in Britain, which year was this? Was it 2018, 19? But there was a mass deportation flight in, I don't remember the year, to be honest. Pardon me on the year, but there was a mass deportation flight then. 52 people were meant to be deported on that flight, but there was a negotiation between the Home Office and the Jamaica consulate. People do not understand what came out of this deal. I'll explain the money, but I need to explain this because that's when we found out about the money. People don't understand what came out of that deal. In that particular deal, there was a lot of young people on that flight who came into the country under the age of 10. And there was a huge outcry at that time. So there was a deal struck between the Home Office and the Jamaica consulate only for that one flight. A lot of people mistake that to be a policy that Britain is not deporting people who come here under 10. That's not true. That deal was for that one total flight. And when they take off all those young people, it whittled it down to I think about 30 odd or so. But that's when we found out that each of these people deported back to Jamaica, the Home Office gives Jamaica £2,500 for each person deported. That is to assist them to resettle in the country, like them are gonna need them Birth paper, if them not have it, them are going to need them. TRN, them are going to need them. Passport, them are going to need to get back on them foot. So that's the purpose for that. But that money, like every other money, I've been in Jamaica, it just goes right back into politicians' pocket. Because I don't fully understand the American deportation system, I cannot speak if they have that policy in the American system, or if they do have it for that matter, whether it would apply under the emergency executive order that Trump is using. So maybe that's something we need to find out from a practitioner on that side of the pond. But I know they get money from the UK authorities, but I cannot speak to the American system. Right. Me now got trouble now again. Me I go make Mouta Massey say what I want to say.
In profoundly changing times, there are many Jamaicans who will be concerned about the change in immigration policies in the United States. There are many Jamaicans, of course, who live in the United States. I would want to reassure Jamaicans that your government has long been planning and putting in place measures to address any changes in policies in the United States. Firstly, let me say that Jamaica is the homeland. So Jamaicans all over the world will always be welcome back to your homeland. And we are prepared to receive all our hardworking Jamaicans who have been in the United States or wherever they may have gone for economic benefits. Jamaica has always been, since its colonial days to now, a net supplier of talent to the world. It may be a good thing to have some of our Jamaican talent return to our shores to help us to build our country. There are many Jamaicans now who are feeling uncertain in the United States and who are considering returning on their own to avoid the indignity of being deported. And we welcome you back to Jamaica. We want your talent. We want your resources. There are many opportunities in Jamaica that together we can take advantage of and build the country that we would want. But let me be clear that for those Jamaicans who intend to come back with crime and violence to undermine what we have been building here, let me be clear to you that this is not the Jamaica that you left 10 or 20 years ago. It is not the JCF that you left 10 or 20 years ago. You will either meet a judge or your maker if you come back to Jamaica and violate our laws and create havoc. I know that there are many who will be returning to Jamaica, coming back to lovely communities like these, rural areas like these, and they may attempt to set up gangs, get involved in scamming, and undermine the values of the communities that they return to. We will not tolerate that. We want all our Jamaicans to always feel that they have somewhere to come back to and call home and be well received. Come back with a good heart and a good mind. Come back willing to work. Come back with your resources. You will be able to make life here. But don't come back here to undermine and destroy what we have built. The government is already planning in terms of putting in place new measures, enhanced security measures to address those who we know have a criminal past or who have been interdicted in the United States, convicted in the United States, and are being returned after.
Jamaica, I know Holness one regularly called that word, yes, so. No, stop it. It's not interdicted. It's indicted. Indicted. Prime Minister, repeat after me. Indicted. Say it one more time again, Prime Minister. Indicted. Not interdicted. Not interdicted. The spelling would be interdicted. The pronunciation, though, Prime Minister, is indicted. If you understand the English language, sometimes them spell so, but they don't pronounce so. Repeat one more time, Prime Minister. Indicted. All right? It iggy me when I hear that word, interdicted. Sorry.
Come back with a good heart and a good mind. Come back willing to work. Come back with your resources. You will be able to make life here. But don't come back here to undermine and destroy what we have built. The government is already planning in terms of putting in place new measures, enhanced security measures to address those who we know have a criminal past or who have been interdicted in the United States, convicted in the United States, and are being returned after serving their criminal penalties there. And we will ensure that they are appropriately monitored here and that they are not in any way contributing to an increase in our crime or murder rate. We have sacrificed long and hard. The people of Jamaica have borne the negative impacts of local violence. We will not tolerate criminals coming back here to increase our crime rate or murder rate. It is on a downward trajectory. We're doing very well, and we will not allow this to happen.
Right, that is his house, in which we will get to in a second. I do take issue with a lot of what the Prime Minister says. I don't know, other than Beverly Hills or Upper Senor, those areas which the Prime Minister speaks about. I'm really not certain. But the see, Prime Minister, what I'm confused about, they are going to come without guns, isn't it, Prime Minister? They are going to be deported without guns. I don't think, Prime Minister, President Trump will be handing them a gun and say, off you go. The guns, Prime Minister, where them are going to get when them come to Jamaica is going to come from some politician to a line of Don gangsters and friends, Prime Minister. That's where the problem lies. Other than killing, Prime Minister, what are the measures that you have put in place? Because you say you plan for it long time. Maybe from Donald Trump start campaign. You plan for it. What are the measures that you will be putting in place to make sure you deal with this issue, Prime Minister? Because you keep trying to be tough does not solve crime. You going around with your death squad shooting down young men. No, but in the term what Andrew is talking, it's indicted, not interdicted. Indicted. Indicted. That's the legal word. Indicted. We never learned interdicted at our school yet. So I don't know why I must speak about interdicted there. So. However, what are the measures in place behind the tough talk? Because Prime Minister, I've followed a lot of the people who suffered the Windrush tragedy. Some of them, Prime Minister, become homeless. Some of them have mental breakdown after deportation. Because family no want have nothing to do with them a lot of the time. State not put nothing in place to deal with them. Who you think swallow them up, Prime Minister? The gangs that people like Babsy Grange, Horace Chang, Darrell Vaz, and Bobby Montague supply guns to carry out their brutal garrison controls. If you can't manage what you have already, how come you are going to talk so tough when you are going to have more on your hands? The issue here, Prime Minister, it will be the people of Jamaica that will fall slap bang into the middle of this chaos. One, through actual violence. Two, the fear of violence. You probably have effect on businesses with more extortion. The numbers of gangs rising. Tell us, Prime Minister, what are the measures? No, I heard you say something to the tune of, it's not the same JCF that you left 10, 20 years ago. I struggle with that part of it. You know why? 27 years ago, when I left Jamaica, the JCF was having problem of when you need assistance from your local police, they don't have vehicle, Prime Minister. 27 years on, that very same problem exists right across the country. I know you have changed their uniform. It has become tighter. I know there's a load of young criminals out there who you have unleashed on us, which is more untrained, ill manners, haphazard, illiterate, hungry, with a criminal intent, Prime Minister. Maybe you need to explain what you mean by that JCF of 10 or 20 years ago is not the same. Are you saying it has improved or decreased in service, Prime Minister? 20 years ago, Prime Minister, I cannot remember rain falling inside police station like Portland and other places where we have seen where police, now if you go to the door, Prime Minister, if you look up in the element, them can't just stand in a police station and look. I don't know the changes you're talking about. If it's a disheveled JCF or an improved JCF, or a more professional JCF, or a more criminally aligned JCF? Prime Minister, I'm confused. You need to come clear up the sin thing them. Where I talk about. Call Dr. Doug in your throat for me now, please. Dr. Dead Baby. Dr. Bad Rice. Doctor, we asleep on floor. Doctor, bathroom not in a maternity ward. Doctor, we not on a bed. We not on an X-ray, ultrasound, CT scan, dialysis machine, or MRI. Doctor, not even a bandage or injection we no hire. But billions of it. Billions. What, 830 billions, Dr. Tufton? And the abattoir, the Black River abattoir, who found old massa hand over the country to us and left it away so. Black River abattoir have been in a depleted and derelict condition. Book your tour. Just try it. Book your tour and go to Black River Hospital or Black River Abattoir. Book your tour and go to Black River Abattoir and see if you not come out dead. Try it. It's the worst abattoir on the island. The abattoir of Black River, the one hospital we have in a center, but we have a few clinics here and there. A 71-year-old, not just her, but a 71-year-old Dr. Tufton has been sitting in a chair for 4 days waiting for a hospital bed. Yet for 9 years, Dr. Tufton is unable to account for billions. While at the same time, the same Dr. Tufton will stay there and tell you how he has raised the healthcare budget from 40 billion to 160 billion. But right across Jamaica, Dr. Tufton, while you have raised the healthcare budget, but you have stolen more than what you have raised it by, Dr. Tufton. More and more of us are sitting up in chairs waiting for a bed. More and more of us, Dr. Tufton, are lying on hospital floors. More and more of us, Dr. Tufton, are dying from negligence, malpractice, and nonfeasance in your National Health Service run, Dr. Tufton. But one don't have to be subjected to this tyranny. Oh no. Your expensive health insurance can fly you to the 15th parish of Jamaica, which is Florida. Most don't have insurance that can fly you to Jamaica 15 parish. So it no matter. You, Dr. Tufton, surgery had to be cancelled last year at Bustamante Children's Hospital because it wasn't politically expedient for you, Dr. Tufton. You pushed back. You did not approve the refurbishment of the theaters from the Chase Fund because at that time it wasn't going to be politically and camera prudent for you because you want political narrative out of it. And because of that, Dr. Tufton, children who were well prepared mentally for surgery have to be put back and go through mental and physical anguish, Dr. Tufton, because the money was there and you failed to approve. You, Dr. Tufton, failed to approve the refurbishment and repairs of the theaters for our children to have their surgery. This same Dr. Tufton have people all over the country sleeping on hospital floor, Germsey hospital floor, because the smell of the hospital tell you that most of the time. For days. Some of them died there because of negligence, malpractice, lack of resources, a stressed out and underpaid workforce, a workforce that is working under-resourced both in human and services. You see, Jamaica people, you see why I cannot play politics with you, why I can't come out here and dance like a fiddle for PNP, and I cannot come out here and dance like a fiddle for JLP, because we country in a dire state. Which one on JLP or PNP would have comfortable for no son of mother or grandmother sick and have to sit down up in a chair? You young people, when you're not sick, can you sit up comfortable in a chair for a few hours? Imagine on young people if you don't feel sick. If you can sit down up in a chair for a few hours, never mind 4 days. So we soon have chair sore now. We soon move from bed sore to chair sore, Dr. Tufton. Because you know how if you turn in the chair, so you're bound to have chair pressure sore, isn't it, doctor? Or you wouldn't understand those things. And this dunce Jacqueline Baseso, she'll go come out when she want advice if you drink poison, you see. But other than that, Dr. Jacqueline Baseso says, not much. Not much in this country. But she's getting an awful lot of our money. If you all want to be generous this morning, you can put £1 or a £2 or whatever in the the Zelle or the PayPal if you want to be generous. Coming back overtime, me I doing. I'm never supposed to out here today. But me hear the Prime Minister walk. Oh God, it's not turn bad. 220 and on go 69 like the live. All right, then I can just donate £1, £2, £5, $1, £2, $5 in the thingy that because why not cheat me bad? Not even like me can't get enough to hit the like, but me don't know what I'm to know, you know. But anyway, make me get on with it. So Dr. Tufton need to resign. We cannot continue with this calamity and debacle where the very place where we run to when we get ill are the very same place that kill we have. Ask anybody. Black River Hospital is an abattoir. Thank you, Abina. Thank you. Black River Hospital is an abattoir. Make anybody tell you, book your tour and go there and see what happened to you. Just try it. Me say, Lord Jesus, Matthew, you done, you know. Me just sit down here and tell you, say, under no circumstances, me can't dance PMP fiddle and me can't dance JLP fiddle. Why you trouble me say me a PNP? And how no, boy, me have to go get wall nail and chisel it in our brain. Most of we are foreign, you know. When we talk, as rubbish as the health care are getting at the UK, me would rate the UK healthcare as still in its outstanding form. It'll get bad compared to what it was, you know. But I would rate it outstanding. Outstanding. Sometimes we have long waiting time. Generally, your waiting time is 4 hours, so it can go longer, depends on the season, especially in a flu season when a lot of people come a casualty. But the different level of health services, let me tell you, I have a cardiologist, I have my general practitioner, I have 2 local hospitals, I have walk-in psychology support where I don't have to go to my GP, so if I want counseling, I have a clinic I can just call, or I can get support over the phone, or I can go in for counseling. I have different clinics where I can have what you call walk-in services. But trust me, a lot of people, if you talk to them, they would tell you that the UK healthcare is falling apart. But compared to what we have in Jamaica, the UK healthcare is outstanding. All sorts of diagnostic scan, we have them on the National Health Service. I remember one of the time my doctor wanted me to have one of those emergency diagnostic. I think that was an MRI. And my doctor couldn't get an appointment on the National Health Service. And what my doctor did was booked a private one, which cost about $5,000 in a fancy high-rising building in the Shard, a London Bridge. You don't have those services in Jamaica. So when you hear me talk about the derelict health care, well, you know, get in Jamaica, don't attach politics to it. PNP, JLP, No P, Sosa J, any one of them is feeling the same old drip of the derelict health care what we have in Jamaica. It's not about politics. It's about the development of a service. A country where education and healthcare is at the bottom is a country going nowhere. I want to stop with the politics, the tribalism, which holds Jamaica in prison. Stop it. Wake up. Wake up. You don't have an ambulance to call if you're sick in Jamaica. You don't have a police to call if somebody had chop off your head for rapid response come. If your house are burned down, you don't have fire truck for call, because it might just turn up without water and the fire hydrant might just empty. Stop it and make we talk for a better Jamaica. It's not about politics. Not everything is about politics. We suffer some grave injustice by our politicians, whether they are Labour or they are PNP. Nobody never see me come out here yet and act like PNP wicked, criminal, and corrupt. Nobody never see me come out here yet and act like Labour criminal, wicked, and corrupt. Them a puss and rat. Both puss thief, both rat thief. But we are talking about how our money, our country's money, have been wasted for decades. And the services around us, like our education, or healthcare, or infrastructure, they have all fallen apart. Security in our country is in a dire disgrace. So don't attach politics to it, my friend. Let us elevate above tribalism. We have been saturated by tribalism for decades. Come and tell me what we have benefited from the tribalism that we have played with our very own future. Let's jump out of it. Let's jump out of it. The world is changing very, very, very fast. But let's continue to listen to the Prime Minister explaining one of his modern day disgrace. The JLP vote buying housing project. Somebody type it in the group. The JLP vote buying housing project. I repeat, the JLP vote buying housing project.
New, innovative. A critical point to note is that the new social housing program does not provide land. We expect that the beneficiary will provide the land on which the unit will be constructed. But before we can build on the land, we have to ensure.
Right, this is one of your other blunder, you see, Prime Minister. Social housing, one, they're government owned, they're state owned. Thereby, Prime Minister, they build on state land. And they're not for free, Prime Minister. They are for indefinite period of renting, with sometimes the right to buy after a period of 5 to 10 years or what. So if you can't provide the land for the social housing, Prime Minister, it isn't. It's just a vote buying project.
That the beneficiary has some rights to the land, either through title of ownership, through some permission to use, certainly by a lease, for example. After which, once the beneficiary is accepted as being deserving of a unit, then we go to the contracting process. And this is very important because there is the assumption that somehow it is the government that actually builds the house. And that is quite far from the fact. The truth is the government relies on contractors, and there is a well-established process by which the government engages a contractor. It is not that the government just closes its eyes and picks a contractor.
You know, so now get our withheld the like still down 91. You know what they do turn over TikTok? You see, if one of them on them live and then on contribute, them block on you know. I saw over TikTok operate. People will block you or run you off of them live if you just come there for idle and tearing at them face. It's not what a live broadcast is about. It's about interaction, either liking, comment, sharing, you know. Why have you not elevated yourself from the analog TV system where you just sit down with the remote and you're there, and jam up yourself? It is what this type of engagement means. That's why social media is different, because it allows you, the viewer, to engage in a meaningful way into the discussion and to support while you engage. So, on an understand all like button it. Are people just over here to come learn but not to support? Then if we don't keep coming, it means so now learn something, isn't it? If we don't keep coming, we now learn, or something keep bringing you back. So why you keep coming and not even as much as hit the like button? It's not hard, you know. Or you can donate in the Zelle and PayPal. But why no wicked? I want to just sit down and tear up in my face so and go on like say me not somebody picking it. Me somebody picking it too, you know. I know me don't think so. Or no me don't know so. But I can tell you today, me not bound back a cow.
The government has what is called the procurement process. That's a well-established process in law, which explains and sets out all the steps that the government must go through. The fundamental principle of procurement is that it must be competitive and transparent. So every unit that is being built, a tender is put out, meaning we put to the public what it is that we want to construct, and members of the public who are contractors can bid on it. They say, well, I will build for X price, or another will say, I will build for X minus 10, or whatever price they come in. And the best price, the best assessed contractor is usually the one who gets the contract to build. The challenge, of course, is that between procurement and the delivery of the unit, the completion of the unit, there are sometimes delays. And these delays can stem from issues having to do with the location and the land itself. So, for example, where we are in this lovely community, this would be considered a challenging location. It is on a fairly steep slope. It is largely inaccessible, and quite a bit of work would have to be done to cut and fill, reinforce, Then there is very limited space for material storage. And all of these can cause the construction process to be delayed. And indeed, for some contractors, it is probably even overwhelming. In this unit where we are, we have had to terminate 2 contracts. So it is the 3rd contractor that would have completed this unit. But aside from that, there are other issues which affect the speed at which contractors can actually complete their jobs. For example, security issues, violence in a community, theft of material, labor disputes. And those are issues.
You could have just say, you know, like what we kill dog path away there, them something that we are talking about, like the extortion and them things. Yeah.
Which oftentimes affect the contractor. Sometimes the contractors are unable to complete the job, they abandon the job, and we have to find new contractors. We have taken note of cases that have been highlighted in our newspapers, 2 cases where persons in providing the land would have demolished their existing dwellings to facilitate the construction of new dwellings. The government would have engaged contractors, but for varying reasons, including security, including theft of materials, the contractors were unable to complete the units in the time specified. In the instant cases, the contractors would have asked for extension of time, and the ministry considered it prudent to give the extension of time because the ministry has to balance between the process of getting new contractors, which means going through a new procurement process and trying to get the existing contractor to complete. Even with the extension of time, the existing contractors were not able to deliver the houses in a timely fashion. So we had to terminate those contracts. That termination took place in December, and we now have...
Prime Minister, careful, you know. I don't want to interrupt them, but careful. Remember when Dr. Tufton come out where they come blame contractor what happened to Dr. Tufton? Careful, you know, have a careful way of shifting blame to everybody else in order not to accept on a failure. Careful, even though I know you will point gun upon them for not talk, you know, but careful. Kind of love blame people for everything.
We'll have new contractors on board. Work is ongoing to complete those units, and we expect that those units will be completed by the end of February. We are very sympathetic to the inconvenience and disruption to the lives and livelihoods of those beneficiaries who have been waiting patiently on their units. But please bear in mind, the government did not set out to not have your houses completed. These are just some of the exigencies of contracting. What we have done, however, in the new social housing program is to explore new innovative solutions that can be easily deployed, which would prevent much of the challenges that we face. So we're looking at pre-constructed building solutions. We're looking at using form systems and pour in place concrete form systems that will eliminate the need for material storage and reduce the length of time that it takes for construction. But there will always be this challenge of contractors not being able to complete the projects in a timely fashion. So we ask for the understanding of the public. We ask for the patience of the beneficiaries. Bear in mind, we are now over 300 units, and so far, only 2 units have made to the point of complaints about delays. So the project is moving very well, and we will continue to press along and deliver to beneficiaries right across Jamaica who are deserving of this benefit.
You see, when you're signed for Andrew House, it's like a appoint. You know, when Andrew appointed you to a post, you have to go the Governor General, and you have to sign with the Governor General, you have to sign the oath of state. It looks like a Andrew big book. Housing book go. You have to sign the oath of state. But what I am going to do, and I go board Andrew this morning about 10:30. Raymond G, thank you, bro. Una have to go continue being bored of Andrew because I'm going to let the master of Anansi mathematics do the maths for you as Minister of Housing. Minister of Housing will do the maths for you. This video won't be as long as the first one, but let's Anansi Minister do the Bratukumarism for you.
2 days ago, I was at an event and
when I notice in whiteboard with the crab tour writing affidavit behind him. Continue, Prime Minister, continue.
upon leaving or on my way out of the event, someone held on to my arm, pulled me aside, and said, Prime Minister, I want to say something to you. But there were a lot of persons around me, and the person looked a bit sad. So I took him aside and I asked him, tell me, what is your concern? And he said, Prime Minister, I want a house. I see you on TV handing over houses to people, and I can't get a house. He was very distressed. He said, Prime Minister,
Sandra Ellis, thank you very much. Imagine, Prime Minister, the man pull your ass. Why? Murder! Prime Minister, the man pull you aside because he say he don't want to hear people in the crowd for hearing business. Here comes the Prime Minister. Attack the man business pan TV to get capital out of it. The man never want him business talk in a crowd, sir. Where you come on TV with it for? That's why the man pull you aside. Lord Jesus.
I'm a working man. I don't want a free house. I have been contributing to the NHT. I am working and can pay a mortgage, but I just cannot afford the houses that are on demand. And there are many Jamaicans who are like that, who are distressed. So it's not that the market is not producing houses, it's just that the market is not producing houses at the price point that most Jamaicans can afford. That's the real challenge. So as Prime Minister and as Minister of Housing, my job is to ensure that all the segments of the housing market are being served and addressed. So the segment of the housing market that we are addressing today are those persons who are in need of what is called social housing. They are not working. They are indigent. They are probably elderly. They probably have large households that are living in circumstances such as what you see behind me, dilapidated circumstances, where our social conscience would have said no Jamaican should be living below this. So it is considered housing poverty. So the new social housing program is designed to address housing.
I will make sure, Prime Minister, after you remove from office, I will write an essay of the first Prime Minister to trot around the country with a tripod and a camera, insulting and disgracing the people of Jamaica, show the world the derelict living that government has heaped upon us. And if this Prime Minister was helping us meaningfully, certainly, this Prime Minister wouldn't have to turn up all the while with a camera and show the world, look at me, Mother Teresa. I have helped the poor and indigent of Jamaica. That's how you will go down in history, that which embarrasses us for his political narrative should be a good title.
Poverty. We are estimating that there are about 6,000 Jamaican households that are in housing poverty. So when we started out, we were delivering 1 and 2 houses per week. Now we are doing 5 and 6 and 7 sometimes per week. We will improve our delivery and we will be
Remember, you are listening to Anansi Mathematics.
doing 10 and 12. And you see how fast we will ensure that all of the Jamaicans watching who fit into this category of persons in need of social housing, we will be able to address them. Now, what of that gentleman who said to me, I am not in that category. I'm a working man. I don't want anything free from the government. I want to pay for my house, but I cannot afford the 25 and 30 and $45 million house. I want a house from 13, 14, 15, 16, even 17 million I can afford. Well, the government in the last 3 years gave a directive to the NH that it must focus its attention and resources on trying to support that segment of the housing market that will deliver houses in the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, maybe even $18 million range. So that the mechanic, the hairdresser, the factory supervisor, clerical worker, all the persons who are earning some income but can't afford a big mortgage, that they can get a house with a little mortgage. And so that is what we are doing. Presently,
Good morning and welcome to Big Mortgage and Liquor Mortgage.
we have 5,081 units under construction in varying stages. So some will come to market soon, and some are in contracting and about to go to construction. We have a further 10,500 units that have gone through development, concept design, and they are in procurement now, that is to go to contract. So between this year and next year into 2027, we have over 15,000 houses at the price points that people can afford that will come onto the market. In total, the NHD is supporting the development of 43,000 housing solutions to meet that housing market. So I say to all my Jamaican brothers and sisters, and in particular to that gentleman who stopped me, that yes, the government of Jamaica is doing what is necessary to bring houses in the affordable, what we call low income, achievable, affordable housing to the market, so that the average Jamaican can have a home in a structured community. And that is what the government of Jamaica is doing to ensure that you have your home.
Yes, the government of Jamaica say we're not going to have house, but we're not going to have no hospital bed. Prime Minister Patrick B. if I ask you, say, you see, sir, tough time you make can help also. Horace Chang and Babsy, the whole army can help with that question. Yeah. But Patrick B. if I ask you, say, could it be that you have a contract with the parliament them as to why you always threaten young men say I go kill them? What make this question relevant, Prime Minister? We already know Dr. Tufton in a funeral business. We also know, Prime Minister, that the young men who you killed on a regular basis, they tend to get some very expensive funeral. You know, like the Americans fight war for money to spend in the economy, Prime Minister. I wonder if that's part of your good economic tactics. You take out a lot of these young men, you know the amount of spending across the country from the Palo to the wholesale to the supermarket to even Oral and Kenny who thief goat might get a blight, to even the man in the community, Prime Minister, who got chop wood for cook, set up on funeral food. You see, there's a lot of people, Prime Minister, that benefit out of the economy of death. So Patrick is asking, do you have a deal with the funeral parlors as to why it's always meet, judge, or maker? And we see that the meet, judge part is just a fluff, because when we shoot them down, or when they end up on them knee, when we'll shoot them in them back and tell us that you were fired upon an unreturning fire. Later on, a young man was found in the bushes, suffering from gunshot wounds, with spent shell and an M16 and a Glock and a 9 lying next to him, which is a story for 40 years or so. It really has not been revised or changed. It's just the story. So maybe, Prime Minister, you would be in a very good place to answer that question, because you always walk and check me about gunning us down, Prime Minister. You haven't got a way to fight crime other than arbitrary arrests, violating state powers and citizens' fundamental rights, or you come out blatant and threaten to shoot us down in the street, Prime Minister. With all that said, we are still waiting 9 years for that crime plan that we were promised. We even have change of commissioner. Fitzbailey fed up so till he gone a foreign. Go and get when couldn't get a Jamaica. We're still waiting for the crime plan. It may be that the crime plan is to shoot us down in the street. And the fear that this government is putting into us, that's why I asked the question earlier. Like we see the people of South Korea sprung into action, both politicians and the general public, to strike down the declaration of martial law, only because the president was very weak and he was facing a lot of political opposition, even from his very own. If Andrew Holness, which is in an even more dire situation, declared martial law in order to subvert our general election, will the people of Jamaica, like South Korea, sprung into action? Will the majority in the House of Representatives JLP politician break ranks with Andrew Holness to protect our democracy? Is a question that we must ask, because Andrew Holness has been militarizing the country, while at the same time, them a walk and threaten way. But maybe we should invite Trinidad to come help with, even though Trinidad in a disgraceful spot with crime. But Trinidad seemed to be moving in a serious direction, because the commissioner? Is it the commissioner of police being arrested and detained? Isn't it the commissioner of police is being arrested and detained in relation to what Babsy Grange and Horace Chang does regular in our country? We not hear about it. So maybe we need Trinidad's assistant. And we want to say RIP to Danissa Brown's family. Danissa is a flight attendant who lost her life in the DC crash flight 5342 over Washington, DC. What I find spooky is at that low level over the capital, such an accident takes place. You wonder who was sleeping, what air traffic control and everybody was doing. But an accident like that in that vicinity should really have never happened, because the level they were at, it would have been clear to both of them, or even clear to the cop, the military helicopter, that the plane would be moving at a faster speed than you. Debbie Jervis, how are you? And remember, peeps, Debbie Jervis will be out in the next few hours. The next few hours, Debbie Jervis will be out here. So make sure you all prepare yourself for Debbie Jervis returning with a bang. Alrighty? But Andrew Holness come out and threaten the deportee, them are the returnees, that I would rather call them. Fire and fury. Andrew Holness is promising fire and fury if you don't walk a straight line. But what would be better is for the Prime Minister in a press conference with Horace Chang and Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Foreign Affairs and the Home Affairs Minister, to set out in public the plans they have for returnees, the resources that is allocated to, where those resources are allocated to, and how returnees will be assisted and how they can access those assistance. And let me say to all the returnees, and advise the returnees of this as well, if you're on the ground and you know any of them. Do not accept the Prime Minister National Identity System for any assistance they may be offering you, if none, if any at all. Do not accept an enrollment into the Prime Minister NIDS system. Hold on there. Am I in the wrong area? So do not, I repeat, accept any enrollment into Andrew Holness's NIDS, because Of course, Prime Minister go on to keep an eye on everybody. But Jamaica, our healthcare is becoming more and more and more of a disgrace. And during this time of year, when both sides of the political fence will be coming around to come eat dumpling and butter with us, coming to sit on our veranda column, coming to sit on the old stone and the piece of keg with us, come lift up and kiss the runny nose baby. Hey! Come hug up the old granny pan the veranda. They will be coming, Jamaica. They will be coming with KFC too. But look how now I get fat, Jamaica men and Jamaica women. Look at your waistline. The KFC, the pizza, and the Chinese food, Jamaica, look at your waistlines. Look at your belly, Jamaica. It spells danger. Whenever time you see somebody putting on fat within that area of the body, it is dangerous health-wise. But because we think, oh, we have arrived, we can afford pizza and KFC and Chinese food, the slow death of our people. When we did barefoot food, when we did yam and dashin, and mama have to cut up carrot and chocho with onion and scallion and thyme, pretend say a meat, it be given when we don't have nothing else. We did slim and chim and now have to go a gym. Look at us now. Like we want to be into a competition with the Americans, where we know them love themselves rolling down the road. Jamaica, roll back on the fast food. You may not all like it. It is the truth. If you want to know that fast food is damaging you, look at your waistline, Jamaican men. Bigger belly and Jamaican women now. Some belly women see Jamaican man a walk round with, and them slap them and comfortable like it's an achievement. The pizza, the KFC, and the Chinese noodles. Hey, the ramen noodles, the bacteria-filled ramen noodles, Jamaica. Your waistline. Around your abdomen is not a good area to put on fat. It's not a good area. Tap nyam the whole heap of junk food. Tappy. I want to go cook. You know, yam, if you have sauce of wild yam, just fry up chocho and carrot with onion and thyme and tell me so you don't have meat with your yam. Stop yam the fast food. Look down the belly. Look at your abdomen. It is a sign that junk food is damaging you all. Some young man when me say I walk around with some gut, in a Jamaica, we never have them so much. You used to have 1 and 2 in our community, and you know them 2 big belly man there, and that's it. Everybody walk around with it now like it's a prize. It's not healthy. Me know healthy eating is a battle, but you know why if you know people at Jamaica, why it shouldn't be a battle? It's a battle for us in a foreign because we may pretend that we eat healthy, we buy fruits, vegetable, and we're eating less of the starch, and we're eating less processed meat and all of that. But a lot of it full of Bill Gates antics them in it. Bill Gates walk up and buy up antics in everything. But uno people of Jamaica, uno have good dirt. Uno can use good fertilizer like cow shit, rat bat shit, horse shit, and them something they mix up with all other sort of conundrum to make fertilizer. Oh no, produce a more organic than the chemical laced food that we are eating in the West. But no, we want to eat like foreigner too. Why you think Americans so big? It's because them live in a restaurant. Me know say we in the UK and not live in a restaurant, but in the UK here, cultured people other than white people, even white people cook at them yard. In the UK, yeah, especially in London and some of the big cities, we do a lot of cooking at home. West Caribbean people, African people, Indian people, Arab people, the Italian, them, the French, them people in England cook at home. Them not rely upon the fast food every day. That's why we have so much markets in this country. Cut out Jamaica. Cut out the frightenness about KFC. Cut it out. Cut out it. Want to stop the frightenness. Like say, there's something special about KFC. Stop it. Cut it out. We should move up and move on. That I did one time 30, 40 years ago. You feel frightened over KFC. A modern day now. Tap it. You're all killing off yourselves. You don't have the opportunity to eat better than we are foreign. But you know, run down fast food. Where people are foreign are run down veganism. Jamaica people. We in a foreign, yeah, we are run down veganism. Where when it was italism, nobody. Everybody degrade and downgrade when it was italism. No, because it named veganism. Everybody are run round and about them foot over it. Italism has always been around. What has been praised as veganism now? Jamaica invented, Rasta invented as italism. It has always been around. Cut out the KFC bullshit. Cut out the Chinese food bullshit. Rex and noodle. Stop chewy Rex. Rex and fried rice. Jamaica. Only get to the point where on yam dog so comfortable. When we Jamaican go no dog and donkey for yam, on a frowns up on a face span way. And now Chinese are going to curry dog, jerk dog, dog chops chewy, dog fried rice, dog special rice. And you not complain. You not nyam it, you not even fight for go nyam it. Cut it out. When we parents and we grandparents, them they are cook. We never have weight issue. We born a yam flour, multiple of it. Me have cousin and uncle. We can't eat less than 20 dumpling in a one sit down. Me not lie to you. Everybody know Babley and Balrin. Everybody know cousin Babley and uncle Baldwin. Or even Lanjo. Them man they just in a one sit down. Them not eat less than 20 dumpling. Them man they never put on an ounce of weight. Family know them because they were very active. We're not active as a society anymore. Because from Yaso to Deso, we stand up and wait for a taxi to go. Even in my community, the distance where we used to walk to the post office, nobody does that anymore. Everybody wait for a taxi. But everybody wants to enjoy KFC. Jamaica, cut your weight. It is not healthy. It's coming up to a point where we're going to have lawless battle with the government of Jamaica. And fat people can't run too far nor too fast. We need to keep ourselves in shape for riots to come in our country, because it is going to come. I'm not asking you if it is coming. I'm telling you it is coming. It's a matter of how long or how well you, the people, are prepared, because the government is pushing it on us. And at some point, the people are going to get fed up and take it back to the government. So me never meant for out here. So cock backside. 1 hour and 40 odd minute. Me never meant for out here. So hello, the D. Heineken. How much time me not hear me sound for stop by Heineken? Bill Gates have shares in a Heineken. Bill Gates have share in a Desno and Geddes. Wanna stop by Bill Gates sinting them. Bill Gates have share in a Pepsi and Coke. Stop, drink, Bill Gates sinting them. Stop it. Go and check it out. Bill Gates, the mother company for Desno, the parent company for Desno and Geddes is Heineken. Bill Gates have shares in Heineken, which is the parent company for Desno and Geddes. Wanna stop drink Bill Gates and think them. Tappy. Water now do nothing if you don't drink source of water. 90% of what I drink is water if I not coffee or some herbal tea off the farm. It's seldom that you would see I go in a shop and may pick up a Lucozade or one little can drink what they call appetizer, because I like them too. But other than that, not even Jamaica big and chubby and them stop them in a drink anymore. Anything Bill Gates I walk and buy up shares in a the tan far. The so nyam grass like a cow, you hear? So nyam grass. But Tufton, here you Tufton.
Machine! Why the head for the people them? Why? Why? Machine! She ever kill me? Why? Machine! Why?
Then you know how long me not drink alcohol. Me park a lot of them something here. There from September, me never touch alcohol till I went on my birthday where there. Bush and Glenton come round here with Magnum and force me to drink. And it take me about 4 days if done 2 bottle of Magnum. But one of the cut out of these sin thing, cut them out. Don't make Bill Gates rich if he come kill we off. Bill Gates only accumulate money to weaponize it against we. Anything you see Bill Gates touch, him turn it into a weapon. Anything this criminal man touch, him turn it into a weapon.
Ball out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody.
I will say something here. I don't know because I don't trust mainstream media, especially American mainstream media. Them gone crazy and wild. But one thing for sure, an accident over Washington at that level, where America with its air superiority, involving, as they say, military or a helicopter, whatever, state helicopter, whatever. It is just spooky to me as why air control, even though you could hear them just seconds before the crash or the hit or whatever, asking the copter to fly behind the plane. I don't know why the military copter thought it was sensible to pass in front of the plane, which causes, as fake news is telling us, the head-on collision. But let's see what rubbish they will come and tell us. But one thing for sure, I do not believe a word the mainstream media is saying. You can also do it with thingy their leaf as well. Denny's beetroot. Like when you go to market in England, when we are go market and buy beetroot, you get the beetroot with the whole fluff. A lot of the time you get it with the whole fluff of green flowers, panny, that you can also steam like callaloo as well, or you can cut it up with your fresh salad as well. But another crash in the Philippines, really? Well, the end of the year there was what, like close to the end of the year there was 4 plane crash within like 72 hours. 4 plane went down. I think one was Korea, Afghanistan, somewhere or another, but there was about 4 of them that went down. Any one of those green leafy vegetables, you can either steam them in Philadelphia. Any one of those green leafy vegetables, you can either lightly steam them, or you can have them in your raw salad as well. Beetroot top, you can replant easily. Okay. But when I buy a market, I always use the flowers as salad. because it's a very nice green leaf, really. But anyway, how long you have left to go, Debbie Jervis? And we want to thank Raymond G for his membership. We want to thank Abina Sarkodie for her super chat. And we want to thank Sandra Ellis for her super chat as well. Me never meant to out here so long because I just tough done. Me did come out here too about the Black River Abattoir, where them have elders lying on floor or sitting in chair for days waiting for a hospital bed. This is disgraceful. It is unacceptable. Our leaders are to be ashamed of themselves. Us as a country ought to be outraged when $830 billion in our health care cannot be accounted for, and our grandmothers and mothers in their ailing life cannot get proper health care. You have to be admitted in a hospital chair or on a hospital floor. Unacceptable, and we should be outraged. Jamaica, we should be in outrage about this. Rather, we are gearing up ourselves to prostitute ourselves cheaper than back road, because Crutches sell a back road more regular than you have sell your vote. Crutches sell a back road more expensive than you, the people of Jamaica, sell your vote. Wake up. Not too cheap. Anyway, thank you all for being here this morning. Me never fi out here so long. But Debbie Jervis soon come out. Debbie Jervis show for today. The link is in. Oh no. Hold on, let me put back the link. The link for Debbie Jervis show today I'm gonna pin now in the top of the chat, so you can hit that link and it will take you straight over into Debbie Jervis's live. Bear with me, oh. Bear with. You bear with me, you bear with me. Let me copy this link for you and put it in their chat. So you can't say you didn't know that Debbie Jervis was live today, because you've been given a front row seat by being given the live link, the live link that is set up for today's live. I'm going to pin for you now. So that's the link for Debbie Jervis's show today. So once you hit that link, it takes you straight over there where you can turn on the notification. So once she hit her live button, it goes out on your stream as well. The day you stay there, you can't go on. Murder. But if Jamaica people will sell them vote, go back road, it's more beneficial because at one time every 5 years I will get that $5,000. But if you go back road one time for the day, you can't earn that $5,000. I would prefer sell myself in the more beneficial way. If I have to sell myself, I go prefer sell it in a way where benefit me. But not sell myself and stay hungry for 4 years. No, sir. Anyway, thank you all for turning up. Kind of never expect me to be out here this morning. And you all have turned up. So thanks very much for your support. Thanks to everyone on TikTok this morning as well. Lovely to have your support. Join me back tomorrow evening for drive time, for the people's point of view. Because even if Andrew trouble me and talk more bullshit as he regularly does, I'm not going to break my rest. I will tackle him Sunday evening. But thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And go over to Debbie Jervis now and mark yourself and register by turning on the notification so it pops up in your neck of the wood once she goes live. Thank you all very much. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV. Alrighty. Ta-da. So Debbie Jervis will be in an hour from now. So mark on yourself over Debbie Jervis. And you can go spend an hour Colin Bell. Then come back over Debbie Jervis. No, remember I said today is Saturday now. Me normally rest today. I just to Andrew and Tough done. Me have to run, come out and me plan for rest today all day. So me will soon tomorrow evening. Christopher, how are you? So when I can jump over Colin Bell, we'll keep time until Debbie Jervis come on in the next hour. Anyway, thank you, and goodbye.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.